Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name's Bobby Waldron, and what we've got here is a very big 1/32 scale US Marine Corps A-18A plus, and it's the Red Devils by Academy. It's also a special edition with limited availability. Now, as you can see, massive box. It's really kind of trying to get it on camera onto my desk as well, so we should have quite a lot in here for our money. So let's start off by just opening this up if we can, and let's have a look what's inside before I kind of, you know, get a bit more closer and unwrap things and all these kind of things. Now I want to keep this quite shall we say a quick inbox review. I don't really want to get everything out, but you've got a nice bit of cardboard there with a bit of see-through window there to see into stuff. We've also got a nice little box here as well, which has a few little bits and bobs in there, which we'll just have a quick look. We may as well. What we've got in here, we've got stuff like rubber wheels, bit of metal landing gear, nose cone, clear parts, nothing really to get mega excited about, to be honest, which is a bit sad really. We've got quite a lot of sprues going on inside here as well. What we've got two in that bag there, separately bagged. We've got two sprues in that bag, separately bagged. Another two in this bag. We've got a nice bit of ground crew and pilots, I think, here as well, which is a nice little extra touch to this as well. Another separately bag sprue in there. So we're talking a lot of sprues to you know, building up this you know, FA18. But then what we've got is we've got basically we've got two bags here with two sprues a piece. Right, so we've got 4 sprues in total, making up a hell of a lot of weapons. So that's a real nice touch for this 1/32 scale. And then we've got some flaps here as well, also separately bagged, individually bagged as well. We have a look in here as well. We've got also bagged up is our decals and instructions. Ooh, 2 nice big decal sheets going on there. So I'm gonna now turn the camera off. We're gonna get back on camera with things opened up and have a real good close look then. Let's kick start with having a quick look at the instructions, and a quick look because it's a big instruction manual. On the front we've got all sorts of call outs for, you know, all sorts of Humbrol, Vallejo, Revell, all those kind of paints, and what kind of matches up. I would still kind of like search the internet and try and find what is the best colour for which one, rather than I know some people might like to kind of say stick with Vallejo and Vallejo only. I like to just pick what is the best matching colour from whoever the manufacturer of paint is. But anyway, going through it does, I mean, the instructions, they don't look like anything special, but they don't look like anything terrible. Nothing really to get too excited about. It just seems to get you there nicely, as normal set of instructions do. This is going to be one of these builds where your fuselage section is like a top and half piece, then you've got your nose section, which is like 2 side pieces there, and then you build the wings separately. It's one of them. It does look like, you know, we might have a bit of a detailed engine. I don't think it is from what I saw, but as you can see, 2 fuselage halves go together, and then I do believe we're going to put our nose section into our 2 fuselage halves there. So it's a bit like an F-14 in that sense. Moving along, you can have your flaps and your slats moving up and down, which is always a nice touch. I always like to see that in any kind of kit. Your exhaust, you've got options for open and closed as well, which is also a nice touch. A very nice touch as well is with this kit we can have our radar, our nose section open and showing off a bit of that radar detail, which is always a nice touch if you can get it. Moving along, normal landing gear stuff there. Canopy, of course, you know, open or closed. As you do with any kit. You can have your air brake open or closed as well on this kit. Oh, and you can, with a bit of modifications, a bit of cutting and sawing, you can have your wings in an open or closed position for, you know, if you want to have it like on an aircraft carrier with its wings folded up, which is also again a nice touch, but it should be for a 1 in 32nd scale. Then we have tons and tons of weapons. All your air-to-air missiles you can think of. You've got your JDAMs, GBUs, Pathways. You've even got harpoon missiles as well. You've got your Mavericks. You've got your harm missiles. You've got a nice bunch of sensors and stuff as well. Snake eyes, free-fall bombs. You name it, you pretty much get it with this kit, which is really, really a nice touch to have so much firepower. You then also get a nice bunch of 1/32nd scale pilots and ground crew, which you also get told how to kind of like paint them. You also get some decals as well to put on their jackets and stuff, which is also again a nice touch with this kit. You also have 2 sets of markings. You have the Red Devils, nice set of markings there, and we also have a set of markings for the Canadian Air Force as well. Alright, so those instructions, they're kind of quite big, but they look like they're going to get you there quite nicely, and lots of nice little options and touches that we've got there as well. The decals do look kind of like a very sort of almost satin stroke glossy sort of look to them. We've got 2 big sheets here. We've got a massive kind of sheet here just for weapons, and we've also got like a bit of our ground crew decals there. But we've also got, which I do like as a nice touch, is when we have our instrument display panels. It's really nice to kind of just put those in and kind of have our instrument display panels all nicely looking, because really to kind of try and paint that and recreate that yourself is very, very hard. So to have it in a decal form is very nice. It does say on the decal sheets, printed in Italy by cartographer. And it says that for, I do believe, both of these sheets of decals. However, it does also say, where is it, designed by Cross Delta, just there. Now I can't remember which decals or which build it was, but I do remember using decals that say it was printed by cartographer but was designed by Cross Delta, and they were a little bit off, right? They wasn't your usual world best decals that you get from cartographer. This whole kind of designed by Cross Delta thing, I don't know what's going on there, but they just didn't seem to be up to scratch to your usual cartographer decals. So they are good, they're just not the world best for some strange reason. I don't know if these are the same, because I mean all decals are different from one to the next, but there you go. We'll see how that comes along. Now we've got a nice little box here, separate box within the box. We'll just open this up, and what we've got in here, we do have some metal landing gear. Now this metal landing gear is one of these where well, plain and simply, you actually kind of put your plastic parts over our bits of metal here, so it's nothing kind of like detail wise. It's going to get covered with Styrian plastic. I think it's like more of a strength thing than anything. You also get some rubber wheels as well. Some people don't like them. Me personally, I do like them, so that's a nice touch. Screwdriver with some screws in there, nothing major there. We've also got our nose cone as well, which does look all nice. Won't get that out the bag. Our actual, we probably get this out the bag because this is always like a make or break for a model, and that is our canopy here. Now it does look absolutely spot on, perfect, nice, shiny, no problems. We do have the seam line that goes down the middle, but if you watch the tutorial on removing seam lines in the Genesis Models video tutorial section, you'll learn how to remove that. But that is looking absolutely no problem at all, and nice and spot on. So I'm going to put this back in the bag because I don't want to get it scratched. We've then got another little bag here of clear parts, which is probably going to be like the Maverick lenses and all those kind of things. No need to get them out. Right, now I'm not going to get all these bags out the sprues because there's a lot of sprues, and this is actually a competition. I did actually kind of forget to mention that this kit has been sponsored by Boys Town Military Miniatures. So Boys Town Military Miniatures actually provided this kit as a competition. I think it was the October competition, and so this has got to be given away. So I don't want to get all the sprues out. I just want to show you enough to kind of give you an idea of the quality of this kit. Now, zooming in on our top of our fuselage section, what you'll see is I'm seeing the recessed panel line is very, very crisp. It's very sharp, it's very consistent, it doesn't fade anywhere or anything like that. The rivets look really nice, it's really going to take a wash very nicely. And even when we go round that 90-degree bend where most molds normally kind of fade, this mold does fade. It does fade a bit, but I mean, we do still get a lot of the details stay there nicely, just enough. A little bit of rescribing will be just fine. We've got a nice bit of air brake detail just in there, which is nice throughout the box. Moving along, the detail inside our wheel wells here as well looks absolutely fantastic in there, I must say. And the rest of the surface detail, you know, again, is looking just the same as the rest of the model. I mean, inside there's nothing really to kind of like worry about inside there. We do have some nice surface detail here as well, looking very nice there. And then we've got our suckers as well, which we don't have, strangely enough, any ejector pin marks on the top, which is the area in which we are never going to see because it's going to be all closed in. But where we have our suckers, where if we kind of look through our air intakes, we do have ejector pin marks, which I do find annoying because why do they put them on the inside and not on the top? You know, boggles me sometimes, but there we go. Moving along, next two sprues here, what we have is we have our wing section. Now, just looking at the surface detail again, as you can see, it looks very, very nice and crisp. Got no problem with the surface detail. Very you know, it's very kind of nice all round. It doesn't kind of fade anywhere, as I say. And looking at that, looks very nice. On the underside, you know, we've got no major problems with ejector pin marks or really any flash at the moment. Looking at our nose section where our cockpit is, our detail is there's a lot of flat spaces, to be honest with you. I don't know if they're like missing out a bit of detail here and there, but I mean, again, it's all nice and crisp. And hopefully this will go together rather nicely, and hopefully you're seeing all the nice detail we've got going on here. One really nice thing about this as well is our suckers here. I mean, if you look in there, we've got some nice seamless suckers. So the first part of our air intakes that you're going to see is going to be perfectly seamless, which that is a nice touch. Ejector seats, I mean, the detail is okay. I mean, for out of the box, it's not bad, it's not brilliant, it's not resin, it's not photo etch, but we've got seat belts and stuff going on there. There is a process of putting it together, so there's more to go together on there, but we have got like the bits of detail going on with this. Just moving along now, and we can actually look at some cockpit detail. Let's put that over there. Right, so looking at some of the cockpit detail now, we have got nice detail going on where our cockpit is. As you can see, I'm not seeing any major flash, but there is one or two places where the flash just seems to come out. I'm just seeing it just there. We've got a bit of flash there that needs tidying up on some handles there, but it's not major. It's just one or two. I wouldn't say one or two, I mean it's just like, it's very kind of rare actually to see that bit of flash that I've seen so far in this kit, but it's mostly flash free. Looking at our instrument display panels, let's get you right in as close as we can. Hopefully, as you can see, for out of the box, that is looking rather impressive, you know, and you combine that with the decals just to go in these little TV screens, is going to make that look really nice. In fact, I would say this is like a nice above average cockpit for, you know, stirring plastic out of the box. We've got loads of nice little pieces here, which really kind of is going to bring out our detail. We've got some more ejector seat there, which actually that detail there does look rather nice as well. I haven't actually looked at what aftermarket parts you can get for this kit, but it would be nice to see some sort of a resin cockpit or something out there. Moving along, I'm not going to get these out the bag, but we've got what we've got in here, we've got our pylons. I think we've got some harm missiles as well. They are looking like the rest of the kit. Nice surface detail, nice crisp, and we've got no major problems with ejector pin marks or flash or sink marks or anything like that. So let's just quickly go through all this. Let's get these out. These look quite cool actually. And that is the ground crew, which is a nice little touch to go with this kit. So I mean, they don't normally, you know, give this stuff out. I mean, we've got a nice pilot here, which hopefully you'll agree, for out of the box, you know, it looks like he's got some nice detail going on there. His helmet looks quite nicely detailed. We've even got little shoes here as well. Which is actually quite a nice touch, because I normally end up having to like cut the feet off pilots to get them to go into the cockpit, so kind of leaving them off or put them on is quite a nice little option there. Moving along, we've got some ground crew, and I think we have actually got a standing pilot as well, I think. But looking at them, they do look like they're going to be painted up quite nicely as well. So that's a nice little touch there. Moving along, we've got another little, just a little bag here, which I won't unbag. It's just a bit of detail with sort of like the wheel wells and stuff, which as you can see, I mean, that wheel well detail is going to look nice in there. Again, no flash or any problems like that. And then we've got these two bags, two bags with 4 sprues in total of just pure weaponry, which, as I say, you know, you've literally got all the weapons under the sun, and they do look very impressive. I mean, they do almost look like little models in themselves, so that'll be kind of fun to build all them up. It'd be kind of fun to actually just build them and kind of not actually have them on the model anyway, because some of them do look really impressive. Those GBUs are looking pretty massive there. Last sprue, oh no, 2 last sprues we've got here. Again, I won't get them out the bag because these are just flaps. Nothing major to write home about there. And then we've got tails and stuff here, which the detail on here is just looking like the rest of the model. So as you can see, we're talking bags and bags and bags of styrene plastic. Not seeing any kind of complimentary photo etching here, which would have been nice, because I mean, they are saying it's a special edition and all this kind of stuff, so I was kind of expecting a little bit extra, should I say. But apart from that, if I haven't built this kit, so I don't know how well it fits, but apparently it fits generally okay. I don't think there's any kind of major fit issues, so it really is a definite good looking kit. Now, I haven't actually looked up the price of this kit, so I'm just going to quickly cut away and find out how much it is. Sorry about that, but I've just found out the price, and the price is £96.99, and and that is from Hannon's as of 2013. You normally can get it cheaper elsewhere, so you know, if you can get it cheaper, a bonus, but it is a lot of money. But then we have got a massive load of plastic here. I mean, there's loads and loads of sprues. It's going to be a very big model as well. The massive amounts of weapons you get in here really does give you some nice value for money. Adding those pilots and ground crew in there also really do really add to the build as well. You can just see, I mean, the amount of, you know, plastic we've got here, you can just see why it needs metal landing gear, because the weight of this is actually probably gonna, you know, break any normal styrene plastic landing gear. So I can see why they've needed to put the metal landing gear in there. So it is a lot of money, almost £100 for this kit. But you know what, this kit is going to give you not hours, but we're talking weeks, months of enjoyment building it. It's going to take you a long time to build. It's not going to be an easy build, but I think that's the whole point of paying that kind of money. It's going to give you so much time of enjoyment building it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say this is definitely a recommended kit here at Genesis Models. I don't see any major problems with it. I just generally get this nice feeling from the whole kit that it is very sharp, very neat, very tidy. It looks like a new tooling ish, and I don't see you having many major problems when actually fitting this all together. And I do think that the surface detail really is gonna, in the end, make this look like a very impressive display piece, and a very big display piece at that. So I hope you've enjoyed this in-box review, and I just want to give another shout out there for Boys Town Military Miniatures for actually providing this kit for the October 2013 competition here at Genesis Models. So until next time, I hope you've enjoyed this in-box review. My name's Bobby Waldron, and I hope you've enjoyed.